Because, say it with me now, it's 4 in the morning. Hey y'all, it's Megan. If you're returning to my channel, welcome back, and if you're new, welcome aboard. So today, in honor of Leap Day, we're going to talk about the first 24-hour day that Disney had back on Leap Day of 2012 while I was working there. They were open from 6 a.m. on February 29th through 6 a.m. on March 1st. And since I was working there, I've got a couple of little story things to go along with it, so let's get our buttons out, and we're going to talk about the One More Disney Day. College program people, I have mentioned it 800 times before, I'll mention it 801, they got the not favorite shifts, we'll say. It wasn't like they got all of the bad shifts, but college program people had the lowest priority as far as preferential scheduling. So college program students got the shifts that other people did not want, which means they had to work late a lot of times. I've mentioned before that a lot of my shifts didn't start until 8 or 9 p.m. and I would sometimes work until 3 or 4 a.m. Just depending on if there was extra magic hours or something. Those were just regular days at Magic Kingdom. So for a 24-hour day, I was like, what is gonna happen with this scheduling? Like, this is gonna be absolutely wild. I can't imagine. I don't even wanna know what time. Am I gonna like start at 1 a.m.? What time am I, like, how is this gonna work? I didn't get scheduled. I don't know which one of Zeus's friends hooked me up, but I didn't get scheduled to work at all for that entire 24-hour period. Basically, all of my friends were scheduled to work, so it's not like I was gonna go do anything. I was worried about working in the middle of the night because we kind of questioned why Jungle Cruise was gonna be included as one of the things that was gonna be open for the full 24 hours, because Jungle Cruise, a lot of people don't visit it at night. I personally, again, mentioned this 801 times, I like it at night. I think it's fun at night, but a lot of people don't go to it at night. So it kind of seemed like a waste of resources, money, time, energy to have it open for 24 straight hours when that was just going to be a lot of time where people weren't going to be coming on the boats, because we were seeing people in the middle of the night, you know, 2 in the morning when extra magic hours were running. We would have dead boats, just boat after boat after boat, where we would wait for people to come, no one would come, and we would just have to send the boats to keep the river flowing. So we were like, is this really a good idea to like have this going? Oh well. But I wasn't scheduled and they were going to be open, so I decided to do what you do when you work at Disney World, which is go to Disney World on your day off. So I did go to the parks that evening. I did not plan on staying for the full 24 hours. I didn't plan on staying for 4 hours. I just wanted to go and see some of my friends. So I went and they were giving out the pins. So there's, Lord, lighting, great. There's that little pin that we got, you know, it just says One More Disney Day, and then February 29th, 2012. So got those, and then I went and rode some of my friends' boats. A couple of them were working that evening, so I did go at night. I think I went about 8 or 9 o'clock. I did go around that time because I saw the parade, and I rode Jungle, and I got a Dole Whip. Those were the 3 things that I did while I was there for the 24-hour day. When you've got all of those things that you can do and endless time to do it, why not just, you know, basically do nothing? I did go ride a couple of boats, and then I got a citrus swirl Dole Whip because that was my absolute favorite at the time. That was the orange and pineapple swirled one. Delicious. Ate it on top of a trash can, as you do when you're at Disney. And then I went over to Frontierland and watched the Main Street Electrical Parade come through, because that was what it was at the time. And then I peaced out. That was the entirety of my experience at the 24-hour day. And then the next day I talked to my friends to see how that went for them. And that's where a little bit of a story comes in. One of my very best friends who worked at the Jungle Cruise with me, he was working that day, and so the next day I was like, dude, you gotta tell me, like, how was it? Was it crowded? He said so many people came. Like, so many people were coming, and it was just, I don't know if you know this about the Jungle Cruise, it's old. Like, she's 52 at this point, 53 almost. This year she'll be 53 because she opened with the park. So she's seen some things, okay? We love her, but she can't go for 24 straight hours, as will happen with older attractions. And it's not like Disney doesn't maintain their attractions. They do. They take great care of their attractions. But when you have something mechanical that is running continuously for 24 straight hours, like, it's gonna have times where it just says no. So that's kind of what happened. After the first like 18, 20 hours of operation, they started having a lot of things like not work, and they didn't go fully 101 because it wasn't like there was a dead boat, there wasn't stuff like that going wrong. The animatronics weren't working. So they had issues with the show scenes. The noises weren't happening on time. The animals weren't moving when they were supposed to. When you have jokes that are timed to specific sounds and motions and things of these animatronics, Beanie just had a bath, so she's prancing around down there. She feels very excited. She's apparently gonna come show you. Are you all clean? Oh, thank you. Thank you. Mama needed a bath too. Awesome. So you have these things that just don't work as they should. But the ride is still technically functional, so people can still ride it, and the skippers are still doing their jokes. Some of them may not work as perfectly as we'd like. If you say speak and the elephant doesn't speak, that's a problem. Skipper is just gonna have to roll with that. That's where the improv abilities come in, I suppose, which I didn't have, so thank God I wasn't working. That was the situation they found themselves in at like 3, 4, 5 in the morning. So I'm talking to my friend and I said, how was it? And he said, this is an actual sentence that I had to utter multiple times on a boat. You know, holding the mic, because I can't do a skipper joke without holding the mic apparently. So he's driving the boat and he's like, we are coming into the Amazon rainforest and you see those butterflies are sitting completely still because it is 4 in the morning. As we enter into the Nile, you are going to notice this African elephant over here to the side. I actually have taught this one a trick, so let me show you. Speak. You know what? He's not feeling like doing that because it is 4 in the morning. And we're gonna move on to the veldt where animals come down to drink every day, but they're not coming down to drink because they're not moving because it is 4 in the morning. And that ended up having to be his punchline for basically every joke, because on his cruise, all of the animals were not moving. They were not doing their thing. No lions were roaring, no zebras were prancing. There was nothing happening. All right, we're moving into a hippo pool, and they're probably not gonna attack us because, say it with me now, it's 4 in the morning. He was a very charismatic guy, so he was able to kind of roll with it and make it funny, and I'm sure that they still enjoyed their cruise. But I was just like, this poor man had worked a 12-hour shift. It was 4 in the morning. None of the animals and animatronics were working, and he was just like, why am I here? So that was kind of it wasn't the entire Jungle Cruise experience on that 24-hour day, but that was part of his experience. The other fun thing that happened on the 24-hour day was Mickey and Minnie came out in a new outfit. They came out and greeted in their jammies because it was 4 in the morning. So that was one of the like exclusive things that you could do. You could go and meet them in their pajamas. I did not go and meet them that day, but they actually brought them over to Vista Way one day, a couple of days later, for a breakfast event for the college program students. So they brought them over, and Mickey and Minnie came and took pictures with us. So I'll see if I can pull out that picture of me with Mickey and Minnie in their cute little jammies. They've come out in these since then, but this was like the debut of this costume for them. So that was a pretty fun thing that happened on that day too. And that's pretty much it. I mean, there's not much else to say besides the park was open for 24 hours. And when you have attractions that are, you know, not built to run for 24 straight hours, and they do, sometimes you have issues. And the really fun thing was you closed at 6 and then they reopened at 9. And you know, there was very little downtime. So maintenance people were like the real MVPs that day. Getting in there, getting everything cleaned up, the custodial staff, even on regular days, they're really doing the most. So the people who kept the attractions running and got the park cleaned and had very little downtime in between opening and closing and opening, those were the people who really kept things running. If you went to the 24-hour day or any of the Leap Day celebrations, tell me down below, how did those go for you? Were you at the one in 2012? What all did you do? If you could be at the parks for 24 straight hours, would you do it? And what things would you like to do in the middle of the night that you normally don't have the ability to do? So let me know down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, y'all.